I hope we've had a good start to the week. Hope you've had a good Monday. I've had a decent one. Been running about a bit, and I've just had a bit of a do actually, because I got an apple pie for me pudding, and thought, oh, that'd be nice. Last one from Co-op. See, I thought that's a great result. But I got some custard in one of them little plastic pots, rather than a tin. I thought not need all a tin, and I poured it on. It was like yellow batter, so that's ruined it a bit really. Tea. But that said, we're not being shelled in as homes by an absolute fucking lunatic, are we? So we've got plenty to smile about, haven't we? So speaking of smiling, let's have a look at Burton against Wednesday's match preview. Burton, managed by Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, great striker in his day, weren't he? What a shot he'd got! Absolute cannonball of a shot, massive thighs. He could probably do with dusting his boots off and giving him Senna game actually, because I've been looking at Burton and they're not really scoring that many goals, but that's been one of their issues. Their top scorer is a lad called Daniel Jebison. Now you might have heard that name because he actually plays for them down the road. He's a young 18-year-old lad down there. Now he's got 9 goals for Burton this season, but United recalled him the middle of last month and he's still their top scorer, which tells its own story. The second top scorer is Brayford, who's that centre half come right back. So you can see an issue there developing for Burton. That said, they have had nicked 1 or 2 decent results of late, but it's a very mixed bag from them. We'll have a look at that. Burton Albion's last 4 results in. A 3-1 win at home against Bolton. That's a good result. Bolton, one of them teams who are going up nice and quietly on the rails there. A 3-0 pasting away at Ipswich Town. A 1-1 draw away at Sunderland, who have been on a slip themselves, had some terrible results of late, but picked back up with a 3-0 against Wigan at the weekend. And most recently, a 2-0 home defeat against Shrewsbury Town. See what I mean? That is a mixed bag in it, Can't beat Shrewsbury, but can get a point, and by all accounts be the better side against Sunderland, and Sunderland needing 94 minutes to equalise and consider themselves a bit lucky by all accounts. So very up and down team, Burton Albion. Now how are they going to set up against Wednesday? Well, it's interesting this. I've been looking at it. They're a team that don't do possession of the football. They tend to let the opposition have it, keep it tight, work hard, quite physical, and then try and hit on the counter. That might be another reason why they're struggling for goals. In terms of formation, it's quite a mixed thing. I've been having a look. Shrewsbury, 3-5-2. Sunderland game, 4-5-1. Week before that, 3-4-3. So Hasselbank, obviously a manager who's not afraid to mix things up as and when required. I would imagine playing a Wednesday team that are full of confidence at the minute and nicking goals again, that he might possibly look at another 5-4-1 again and try and clog that midfield area up there. One thing we'll have to look out for is he's going to be looking at Bannon, Byers and Luongo, I'm sure, and recognising, as we all do, I'm sure, that they're probably the best midfield trio in the entire division. So I think he'll put an extra body in there, whether it's a 5-man midfield with 3 at the back or a 4 at the back. I'm sure they'll go with 5 across the middle and man for man in there, 3-on-3, and try and mix it up a bit physically. I had some calls at the weekend for Iorford and Gibson to start. I can't understand that. Iorford's been out for 4-5 months so far. Just come back. He's had an hour, 40 minutes, a bit more than 40 minutes for the Stiffs. That's an entirely different level of football to playing a League One game against a physical side who are battling for their lives. So I can't understand that at all. I would not risk Iorford at this stage. Great to have him on the bench, probably great for him to be in the squad and in and around and involved, but I would not be putting him in the start 11 at all. The other option is Gibson. The only reason I like Gibson, I've liked what I've seen in these small cameos he's made, but the only time I can see him particularly coming into the side, at left side of centre half, would be obviously while Mendes Lang's out, to give Hunt a bit of a rest and maybe put Palmer out at right wing back. That's the only way I could really see him coming in ahead of the Palmer, Hutchinson, Story back 3, who've been fantastic by the way. Up front, I still don't think Callum Patterson's a striker. I can't help it. I just don't. For me, he's a midfielder. He's a central midfield, do a bit of everything. And I love them sort of players. But would I play him from against Burton? Yes, I would. Because, not just because of the goal that he scored the other day, but I would play him up front against Burton because he worked well with Berahino. They just got that little bit of understanding. He's beasting it around and it's creating them little pockets of space for Berahino to receive the ball. And as I talked about in my review of the game at the weekend, creates some little pockets for him to receive the ball and turn and get into a little space and get a run at people. And that is all because of Callum Patterson making them runs and really stretching opposition, pulling people out of position and shithousing them and barging them about and causing a bit of havoc. And that just creates space for the player like Berahino to get in them little pockets. And I would go with that same front two again. And the way they're playing, it does mean that there's not that pressure on Windass or Gregory to come back any earlier than they need to. You know, if they get back in the next week or so, 2 weeks even, fantastic. But the way Berahino and Patterson have played the last two matches, well, the 90 minutes at the end of the 45 before that, I think they've shown more than enough to be able to cause a team like Burton Albion problems. And like I said, we could just ease Windass and Gregory back a bit more steadily. We've sneaked into that top six. We're looking sharp. We lost that game to Rotherham. I'm not even worried about that. I thought that was a terrific performance, and basically we've just been done with a corner that never was, and a bit of a wonder strike. So the way we're playing is the pleasing thing. That's a bum result, but the way we're playing, the consistency, we've got a balance now. We've got Hunt on the right, Johnson on the left, looking fantastic. Up front, little partnership. I love partnerships. I sort of wish everybody in the entire world played 4-4-2 still, but that's just me. Little partnership up front developing there, looking quite sharp. And of course the back three looking absolutely solid. I don't want to start raving in a preview about Jordan Storey and how much I definitely want us to try and make a play for him in the summer. But yes, I do. Him, Hutchinson and Palmer, faultless in the last match, so I would go with the same 11 if I was Darren Moore. Understandably, he'll be keeping an eye on the full-backs, the wing-backs, because they do an incredible amount of work up and down. But I'd keep the same 11. I'd keep the same 11. That consistency. And when you're going into this running, that consistency will be vital. Prediction? I can't see anything other than a Wednesday win. Obviously, it's at theirs. They're a team who don't do possession of the ball. I've been looking at the stats for the last 5 games. They let the opposition have possession. They try and keep it tight. They try and rattle you, frustrate you. But I think Wednesday's got enough players, cute players now, to be able to break a team down like that. In fact, a mix. We've got cute players who can do the lovely little balls. We saw that with Luongo's slide pass on Saturday to get Johnson in. But also we've got that ability to cross, beat a man, put a cross in, bit of physicality, box some big pato. So I think we can beat Burton Albion, and I think we'll beat them 2-0. Some other interesting games happening tonight, and also just have a very quick look at them. Portsmouth against Oxford, that's a big game. Oxford been on a good run, I think 4 wins out of 5. Could do with catching up with them. But equally, Portsmouth, they've been coming up very quietly on, a bit of a dark horse there, so that'll be an interesting game. Obviously, ourselves against Burton, down in 14th place. Obviously, we've talked about them. Shrewsbury against Rotherham, you can't see anything other than a Rotherham win there. Wigan against Fleetwood, again, top at table, nearly playing bottom at table. Can't see anything but another Wigan win. Interesting one here though, Wycombe against Cambridge. Wycombe have been slipping away a bit, but they are still just down there in 8th place, just behind us, so could do with Cambridge getting some sort of result in that game and just starting to cut Wycombe adrift a bit. Right, I'm going to go make a cup of tea now. Hope you enjoy the game. Hope Wednesday get a result. Let me know what you think we're going to do. And and a happy birthday to Glenn. Hope you have a great day. Hope Wednesday get a result for you and you enjoy it fully. Yes, tea and a biscuit. Come on, Wednesday.